Good morning. Oh, there we go. We'll try again. Good morning. I'm Sam Sherry. I'm the chair, to my continuing surprise, of the nominating committee, which is in full swing right now. If you would like to find out more about the nominating committee, please see me or Nanine Chase or John Howard after the service. We're happy to talk with you. I have a few announcements. Here we go. Reverend Tara will be jumping onto Zoom after the worship to spend coffee hour with the folks on Zoom Sanctuary, on the Zoom Sanctuary. So Zoomers, please stay on. Share the plate nominations needed. It is our tradition to share 1/3 of each Sunday's offering to a nonprofit organization chosen by members of the congregation. Do you have a nonprofit organization that you would like to nominate for the 2024-2025 church year? If so, there is a link to submit your nomination in the e-blast. Paper forms are also available on the Social Justice Bulletin board in the foyer next to Carol there. Nominations will be collected through Sunday, March 31st. The Social Justice Committee will evaluate the nominees and make recommendations to the Board of Trustees. For more information, you could see Jim Mason or Julie Harrison. Jim? Julie? All right. Last but not least, support Project Feed on Sunday, March 10th. That would be next Sunday. Yeah. You must bring donations to the pantry directly to the... No. Bring donations for the pantry directly to the social justice table, which is out in the foyer. For a list of most needed items, check the March issue of the Social Justice newsletter, which you probably received from Nanine Chase Ortiz. Or the bulletin board in the hallway. I really butchered all of that, but if you have questions, just ask anyone on the committee. Thank you for your patience.
We are growing a community that transforms lives through the power of love. Our mission calls us to celebrate diversity, encourage spiritual growth, and promote social responsibility as we travel with care on this earth. Welcome to those of you who are new this morning. Welcome to those of you who are joining us in our Zoom sanctuary. And we take this opportunity now to silence our cell phones so that we can be fully present to this time that we share and to one another. After the service, all are welcome to stay and grab a cup of coffee in the kitchen window and stay for conversation, or head down all the way down the hallway to join a group for the brown bag brunch. Those on Zoom may stay on and hang out with me and each other, but I'm excited to see you. Now let us center our hearts and our minds with the ringing of the chimes.
Good morning on this glorious mud season morning.
Good morning.
I'm Steve Hansen, Chair of the Stewardship Committee. Other members are Peter Reed, Terry Grover, David Wilcox, and Sylvia Hansen. We have come up with a theme for the drive this year, which I think you all should be able to guess pretty quickly. Oh, thank you. Thank you. And so let me channel Reverend Tara for a minute. Our worship has ended. That's it. That's our theme. A few brief comments about this year's campaign. There are several new and pretty exciting things that your pledges will help with. We're going to make the kitchen usable for all of the many potlucks we plan on having the next year. And Reverend Tara has moved to Portland. Okay. So in addition to those very exciting ones, there are other things your pledges really help with, such as keeping the lights on, the heating, and the occasional snow plowing. There are two events that are being sponsored by Stewardship this year. The first one is we're holding a drawing for the 2 auction winner parking spots outside. There's a small sign-up box out in the foyer if you would write your name and your phone number, and please enter only once. And we're also having a potluck next Saturday, mostly St. Patrick's Day with a little bit of stewardship. If you would like to sign up, that would be great. It's nice to know who's bringing what so we can flesh it out, but it's not necessary, and you can also show up without any food. Yes, tomorrow we will be physically mailing everybody who's a member an actual, paper pledge form. You probably will only have to put a little check on it and mail it back. So we're trying to simplify the process this year, and we thought that would be the best way to do it. We look forward to a successful pledge campaign, and thank you in advance for your support.
Good morning. I am Reverend Tara. For those I haven't met before, I use the pronouns they and she, and I am the minister here at Allen Avenue UU Church, A2U2. It is good to be together. This morning in worship, we'll be reflecting on what we can learn about being good stewards from the world of beekeeping. Our children and youth will join DRE Emily Jones and John Howard in making prayer beads and learning how to use them in practices of meditation and prayer. As you allow yourself to settle into this space and to our time together, arriving fully in the spirit of worship, hear these words of invocation by the Reverend Gretchen Haley. Call this day worthy. Though the voices resound with reasons to doubt, call your life worthy. Shout glorias and alleluias, praise imperfect saviors and messy miracles, plans half done, communication misfired, connections incomplete. Glorify the gap between here and healing. And know that the longing is enough. Trust the dreaming that is your gift. Give thanks for the hours and days of your life. That is the changing and the showing up, the growing and becoming. Sing with joy and exaltation for seasons turning so suddenly, for life that continues its march, and for the vision you hold tender and often tentative in the hollow of your heart, the spark of something more for you, for us, for our world. Thank God for that. And for every breath that brings us closer, every taste of true freedom we find together. Shake loose the stories of insufficiency, shed all shame. Stay instead to celebrate this day, this gift, this life we share together. Come and be welcome. You are joyfully called to worship. And as we light our sanctuary chalice this morning, those worshiping at home are invited to light a candle or a chalice near you to connect us more deeply. We cast not our eyes below. We say to ourselves, we are how we came, wounded from struggles, triumphant in our survival, entitled by birthright to belong to this, the only humankind there is, saying, I am included, I belong, I am here, I will be and do. I will breathe joy into the desolation. I will breathe peace into conflict. I will breathe life into destruction. I will be the earth I wish to see. I am growth and hope and glee. Our opening hymn this morning is number 112 in your gray hymnal, Do You Hear? Dale will play it through once, and then you're invited to rise in body or in spirit as we join our voices as one. Today, we welcome into membership of Allen Avenue Unitarian Universalist Church people who have chosen our community of faith as a place to join. We are a free faith community. Becoming a member is a choice, a personal and spiritual decision, and membership comes with certain rights and with responsibilities. Joining this congregation does not mean subscribing to a creed, but it does mean a serious commitment. Joining in our congregational mission to transform lives through the power of love, to celebrate diversity, encourage spiritual growth, and promote social responsibility as we travel with care on this earth, and to do our part to build a world of compassion, equity, and freedom. Membership means having the right to vote on congregational decisions, and it also means the responsibility of being a steward, of safeguarding the health of the congregation as a whole, so that it is here for others long into the future. A congregation is a living, moving, changing thing. Anytime even one new person joins us, we have the opportunity to grow together, to share and receive new ideas and new energy and hear new voices. Anytime even just one new person joins us, this church is brand new. Thank God. Each of these people brings unique experiences and perspectives to this community, and we are so grateful for that. And today we have the joy of welcoming 9 new members. And as I call your name, please come forward and make a line in front of the sanctuary. I know some of you are shy, and you can sort of go in the corner a little bit, but we want to see you. Bill Burge, Sally Littlefield, Dale Reynolds, Caitlin Sullivan, Dallas Tees, Cynthia Martin, Dan Poulin, Shirley Curry, and on Zoom, Carol Martin. It is a joy to welcome each of you into this beloved community. We invite you to join in sharing the joys and responsibilities of membership. Will you covenant to join us in living out the values of Unitarian Universalism and Allen Avenue's mission together in community? If so, please say, I do. Members of A2U2, will you welcome these new members into our congregation? Will you reach out to them in friendship and be open to their unique ideas and gifts? Will you extend a caring hand to each of them as we journey together in beloved community? If so, please say, we do and we will. Let us give these good folks of our congregation a warm A2U2 welcome. And before we do, after that very warm welcome, during that very warm welcome, Diane and I will greet each of you, and we have something to give you. So let us welcome. After worship, there will be cake. Let's do one more warm welcome, and then you may return to your seats. It's a good day. So now let's talk about bees for a minute. We just added 9 to our hive. I think this is on. Is this one on? Yeah, it's on. Ooh, it's 2 on. How about now? So today we're talking about stewarding our hive, keeping our hive, imagining this place as a beehive and us as the bees. Does anybody here know? Okay, let me rephrase that, because if you actually know, don't raise your hand, because that ruins the fun. Can anybody here guess how much honey one single worker bee makes in its lifetime? Yes. About a gallon. Great guess, but no. Anyone else? 3 ounces. Great guess. Also no. Yes, Sally. A teaspoon. Good guess, but no. Okay, so do we think it's more in this direction or more in this direction? Okay, so half of you are pointing this way, and half of you are pointing this way. Who else has a guess? Nope, not right in between. Okay, it's this direction. So if this is too big, this is 1 teaspoon. Let's get some other guesses. A tablespoon is larger than a teaspoon, so that would be that way. So we're going smaller. Yes. A jar, a little too big, but good guess. Yes. Half of a teaspoon, great guess, still too big. Did someone say a quarter? A quarter of a teaspoon, believe it or not, still too big. So at this point, we've run out of teaspoons. That an eighth, smaller. A 16th, too small. A dash. A dite. A drop. A dribble. It's 1/12 of a teaspoon. Whew. You were going to guess that. I thought so. So this is the size of a honey jar that I typically purchase and go through rather quickly because I put more than 1/12 of a teaspoon in my tea. More like a heaping tablespoon. Can anybody guess how many bees it takes to put together their 1/12 of a teaspoons to make this amount of honey that I buy? Yes. 100. Too small, but good guess. 1,000. Too small. Yes. 5,000. A little too big. Yeah. 3,000. You're getting there. Yes. 4,000. A little too big. Would you like to know? Or should we do this all day? Let's do it all day. 2,304 bees spent their entire life making this. So that's a lot, right? That's a big effort for this sweet thing that I dump into my warm liquids like, oh, it's so good. So you probably get the point, right? Which is that individually, like bees, we have small contributions to our communities. And when we put all that we contribute together, we get something way more sweet and way larger than anything we could ever do by ourselves. So that's what we will be thinking about and talking about in worship today. And you all are going to go with Emily and John and make prayer beads. So Emily can come on up and invite up our lamplighter.
In a few moments, some of us will be going to religious education session, but I would like to invite up our lamplighter, Calvin. A lamplighter is entrusted to transfer the light of the sanctuary chalice to the lamp and then go forth to RE spaces where they will light the chalice there. I invite those going to RE to follow the lamplighter as we carry the flame, expanding our sacred space.
Would you join me in the spirit of prayer? I know sometimes you get cranky, and sometimes your tea gets cold before you can drink it. Sometimes the news is too much. The resistance seems too little. That's real. But we are here, imperfect and together and reaching. You can hold my hand if you want. I washed it with soap. It's okay. In this kind of time, now is better than later. Now you are loved. Now I am sorry that it hurts. Now I witness your struggle and mine. Sometimes one answer is to be a yes in the face of every no. I am a yes for you, now and again, and later too, if you need. In the name of that love that surpasses all understanding, I pray. Amen. We are a freely gathered, open and welcoming faith community supported by your contributions. Each week, 1/3 of our offering is given away to a nonprofit organization whose mission aligns with our Unitarian Universalist values. This month's Share the Plate is the Independent Seniors Network, a volunteer organization helping local seniors to maintain active, social, safe, and independent lives in their own homes. You can find more information in your order of service. Donations can be made now as the basket is passed through the donate button on our website, or if you are a member, on Breeze. If giving through Breeze, please just make a note if your donation is your pledge or a gift to our Share the Plate. If you're visiting us this morning for the first time, please know that your presence is your gift to us. At this time, our offering will be collected and gratefully received. rise and join me in singing our mission statement. The text will appear on the screen. Dale will play through once, and then let us sing together and be reminded of what we are all about.
Hey, Angie. Hey, Sonia. Have you ever thought that a church is just like a beehive?
Angie, that has never occurred to me.
Well, in a beehive, the bees all work together to keep the community healthy and safe. That's just like our church. We all work together for the good of the church.
For our friends in the hive, that's innate behavior. But it's not like that for us. We have to work hard. It takes a lot of work, a lot of communication, commiseration, contention, conversation, conflict, consensus, coordination.
Okay. Still, one bee cannot accomplish anything all alone by herself. How much honey do you think one bee can create?
I don't know. A cup?
Actually, a single bee can't produce even a smidge of honey by herself. The whole hive has to work together to make honey. But if you divided all the honey produced by the number of bees in the hive, our single bee would be responsible for 1/12 of a teaspoon, about 5 drops.
But isn't the beehive all about the queen? Isn't she in charge of everything? That's not like our church at all. Do you think Reverend Tara is the queen of our hive?
Actually, even in the hive, the queen isn't really in charge. Our language for beehives, as well as for church communities, may make it seem like it's a hierarchy, but the queen depends on all the other members of the hive to fertilize the eggs, to prepare the cells, to feed the larvae, to defend the hive, to store the honey. It's almost as much work as it takes to keep a congregation buzzing.
So that is like our congregation.
Exactly. Even in church, our language feels more hierarchical than our congregation is in reality. The minister is not in charge of the church. The board president is not in charge of the church. Everyone, from the newest comer to the oldest stayer, contributes to our shared ministry.
You know, in a normal beehive, there are about 60,000 bees. Imagine what we could do if we had that many members.
And isn't it amazing that bees can fly over 2 miles to look for nectar or for a new place to create a hive?
We have a lot of people who work that hard here.
And in the winter, the bees all huddle together and use the movement of their wings to create heat in order to stay alive.
Well, I'm glad we don't have to do that at 524 Allen Avenue. I'm happy to help pay for the heat.
The beehive is indeed a natural wonder, a society that is much greater than the sum of its parts. Each little bee plays a minute but significant, even critical role in order for the hive to thrive. We know so much about these creatures and what they create, yet how it all happens is still a mystery.
And our congregation is just as beautiful and mysterious in its workings and accomplishments. You see where we're going with this.
The bees are born into their world and instinctively take up the work of the hive for the greater good.
We come together here of our own volition and work together so that our congregation might thrive and so that the world around us will hear our message and benefit from our actions.
How sweet is that?
Moving through the great unknown, each begins as one alone. You as you and I as I wonder why. In the night I wake and cry, I would know the reason why. Into life we come alone, I wonder why. Here am I, friend, take my hand, friend, and together we will find our destiny. Here am I, friend, take my hand, friend, hand in hand we will touch the mystery. Who am I and what are you? Truth of one is found in two. Looking out, I see within. I reach to you. Reaching out, we reach within. What we'll find is where we've been. I know me by knowing you. I reach to you. Here am I, friend. Take my hand, friend, and together we will find our destiny. Here am I, friend. Take my hand, friend, hand in hand we will touch the mystery. Searching through the mist as one, under moon and under sun, under all the stars that shine, we search as one. By the light of stars that shine, we find love and life divine. Under moon and under sun, we search as one. Here am I, friend. Take my hand, friend, and together we will find our destiny. Here am I, friend. Take my hand, friend, hand in hand we will touch the mystery. All we seek we may not know, where we are and why we grow. Truth too deep to fully see. truth too deep to fully see what we are and where we go. Why can't we know? Here am I, friend. Take my hand, friend, and together we will find our destiny. Here am I, friend. Take my hand, friend. Hand in hand we will touch the mystery. Hand in hand we will touch the mystery.
Karen Bigelow, co-executive director of Creation Justice, reflects on what she learned about her faith from keeping bees. The first thing is about control. She says, beekeeping has taught me how to let go of control in my pursuit for perfection. I have learned to trust the process and let the bees do what they were made to do. All I can do is help create an environment where they can thrive. Ethical and sustainable beekeeping means it can take up to 2 or even more years to get honey. New bee colonies only make enough in the first year for themselves. So many small-scale beekeepers do not harvest until they're sure the bees have what they need to survive the winter. She says it is hard getting stung multiple times, spending hot, sweaty days in the sun, and trekking through the snow without any reward of honey. But waiting for the honey is a reminder that bees are not a commodity that I can control. I am merely a steward. I am merely a steward. The second thing she learned is about community. She says bees are not concerned about their individual selves. The survival of the colony comes before the needs of any individual bee, including the queen. No one bee can do every task of the hive. They all serve their role, which requires an assembly line of sorts. Some bees scout for pollen and nectar. They let other bees know where to go, and then they bring the pollen and the nectar back, passing it down a line from one bee to another before it is put into frames that hold the honeycomb. This community work is efficient and necessary for their collective mission. Community work is necessary for their collective mission. We, each one of us, are stewards, are keepers of this Allen Avenue hive. And like keeping a beehive going, this can be hard work, a big responsibility, trudging out to the hive in all manner of weather like today, getting stung, we all have, going years with no honey, hopefully not. And yet, there is something there. There is something fundamentally meaningful, regardless of the results, the outcome, how much honey we get, or how much of a roller coaster the process can be. There is something fundamentally meaningful about being a steward, in belonging to and nurturing a community beyond our individual selves. It meets a deep need in us. That deep need intersects with the deep need of others, which intersects with the deep need of our world. I find that image of 1/12 of a teaspoon of honey from an individual bee alongside that jar, alongside the honey that a whole hive can make, can produce, to be deeply moving. And when I think about community life with humans, not bees, I am equally moved. Often in community, what we give and what we receive are not the same. You give your money so that we can continue to operate our building, run programming, and pay our incredible staff a fair living wage. But all of you give a different amount based on how much you have and how much you can and choose to stretch. You give your time in so many different ways. Some of you are here in the building or on Zoom for 1 hour per week. Some of you I see coming in and out of this place all week long. How you give your time, participating in church life, serving on committees and teams, doing behind-the-scenes work like tech, thank you, Linus, administration, cooking, working with our children and youth. How you give your time varies enormously, too. And sometimes what we're able to give at any given point is neither money nor time, but our need. Yes, I believe that those of us who show up in need, too, are keepers of this Hive community. Allowing those who have support to offer to meet us in our moments of need keeps flowing that divine circle of giving and receiving that is the backbone of community. Asking for help, showing up with nothing to offer is itself a gift for the giver and the receiver. To be a steward, a keeper of this hive, I believe is a counter-cultural act, a counter-cultural choice. Out in the world, we pay for something and we receive something back of relatively equal value. Here, we give, and what we receive in return is in many ways immeasurable. We can't control it because it's not about what we get. It's about who we become. It's about who we are becoming. It's not about what we get, it's about who we are becoming. And so let us, my beloved congregation, be faithful stewards of this holy hive we call home. May we make it so. Blessed be. Our closing hymn this morning is number 26 in your gray hymnal, Holy, Holy, Holy. Dale will play through once, and then you are invited to rise in spirit or body as we sing together. community. We give and we receive. May we go forth now from this place to share the sweet, sweet bounty of our love. Our worship has ended, and our service begins. Go in peace and stay for cake.